Today, I'm giving you an updated 2025 plant tour. And y'all, some of these plants have been showing out lately. We've had new growth, some happy surprises, and a little bit of drama. But before we get started, hi, I'm Kayla and welcome back. If you're new here, welcome, and be sure to subscribe if plants are your vibe. All right, let's hop into the jungle and see what we have going on.
Where plants run free with jokes and clumsiness, let's make it green and wild in the garden of Kayland.
We're starting off in my bedroom, which has become a full-on plant haven. A big portion of my collection lives here, and honestly, waking up surrounded by all this greenery is such a vibe. The plants in this little corner here are on the floor, on stands, and on risers. So I really curated this space to maximize the space that I had. Right here is my Monstera Esqueleto. This plant continues to grow no matter how many times I cut it back. And yeah, it looks really healthy. I'm really happy with how it's been doing, but it's kind of smushed down here. And I really want all the leaves to be like, you know, out in all their glory. So I'm gonna have to find somewhere else to put it, but it's so happy here that I've just been leaving it alone. And this beauty is my Anthurium pedatum, and it really gives me such baddie vibes the way the leaves spread out like that. I just love it. It's also looking very healthy. This is the newest leaf, as you can tell by like how ridiculously shiny it is. But yeah, I love this Anthurium. I also have this Anthurium, what is it, Serenoid Velvet. Oh my gosh, this long leaf just takes me out. I'd love a long leaf on an Anthurium, I really do. She is such a showstopper, and I need to take it out because this leaf is, oh my gosh. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I love the spring. I love the spring so much. But yeah, the bold veining on here down the middle, such a vibe, y'all. I love it so much. I can't wait. I'm so happy. I cannot wait to see what that new leaf is gonna look like. Like, oh my gosh. I did not even, that was really hiding back there. Okay, it didn't do anything for such a long time. So that just like put me into shock. And then I have, I think this is a crystallinum cross with something. So I have this one, and this one down here, and they all three look alike. So I honestly, I know this is a cross, but I can't remember what it is. So this is why is this a new leaf too? Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh y'all, I'm so freaking happy right now. That's crazy, thank God, because this leaf was looking super rough. I wonder if this one has one. Yes, it does. Look at this. This is so exciting for me. I need to calm down. I really need to calm down. Okay, I have this no ID back here, and I don't know what it's across. Y'all, I'm starting off this video the wrong way, like with a bunch of I don't knows. But this is before I started being really anal about labeling all my plants. So yeah, so you'll have to forgive me, but look at these gorgeous dark leaves. Like, what is this? I don't know what it is, but it emerges so red. But then it starts getting so dark. So I have an Alocasia Portei, P-O-R-T-E-I, Portei, I guess. And it is so massive. I'm actually really shocked at how big it's gotten since I got it as such a seedling, like maybe a year ago now. These are the only two leaves on here right now. I feel like every other leaf, one dies. It's weird, but I've said it before, I can never seem to get more than like 2 or 3 leaves on an Alocasia, despite feeding them, despite the light, despite everything I try. So maybe this year I'll have a little bit more luck with getting some more leaves, but this one I'm actually not messing with because it takes up so much space. I'm actually quite fine with it just having the 2 leaves. And kind of hiding under here, that's my Anthurium Mag Lux, and it is down to now 1 leaf. I'm sure if I look down in there, it probably has a new leaf coming too, but I did something really wrong with it, and the leaves started yellowing and just like literally dropping off. So even this one is in like a little bit of stress, it seems. It was getting too much light, I feel like. So I moved it back, and hopefully everything's on the up and up. This is my Monstera Burl Marks Flame, and I recently cut this into about 4 or 5 different cuttings, and sadly, every last one of them died. So all I'm stuck with is just a chopped up mother plant, and I'm never, ever trying to propagate it ever again. Lesson has definitely been learned. Hiding back here because they get very easily sunburned is my Circesses mirabilis. And it looks so stunning, y'all. It is so pretty. It's such a gorgeous leaf in general, but unfortunately, as it matures, it starts to lose a little bit of that cool coloring. So I'm kind of happy that it's a slow grower. And then, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna touch it. I want to so bad, but I'm not going to. This is my Anthurium papillilaminum, and this is obviously my latest leaf that's still hardening off, and it is so gorgeous. The camera does not do it justice whatsoever. It's going to be such a dark, gorgeous leaf, and I'm so happy that it's finally doing something, because you can kind of see back here that the only leaf that I had on there was so damaged and it was so ugly. So I'm really glad to have such a beautiful leaf emerging. I've also got this Anthurium, I think this is the Esmeraldens, that has 1 leaf. It had 4. It got spider mites real bad. I had to cut it down, and I put it in a bigger pot, and it really seems to be happy and healthy since I gave it a bigger pot. And it even looks like I might be getting another new leaf, so that's a plus. I'm so happy with my plant babies right now. Speaking of babies, this is my Anthurium pterodactyl, and you guys, what? Is this what I think it is? Like, is it pregnant or am I tripping? It's definitely pregnant. Oh my goodness gracious, you guys, like, no way. I have no idea how that happened, but I'm really glad it did. And my philodendron ruby juvenile that I had to cut all the way back is coming back very healthy and happy. It's just a baby right now, but look at all that red in there, y'all. And it's gonna be such a full plant. I feel like I may have overdid it with the cuttings. Like, I feel like I might have too much in there, but I feel like that's something I'll worry about later. And let me tell you the tragedy behind this gorgeous plant. This is my Anthurium magnificum crossed with the Nigrolaminum. And you guys, so it had a few leaves on here and they were gorgeous. And then they started looking really rough over the winter. So I recently discovered that this also had a new leaf on it. And as I was putting like this little cuff around it, I don't know if you can see like through there, I was putting that cuff on there and I freaking snapped off the baby leaf. Devastated, but it's fine. Another one will grow. It took so long to get that. I couldn't believe I did it. I just couldn't believe it. And then look at her back here. So this is my philodendron genevivianum, and it is such a cool rippled plant with like these heart-shaped leaves and these pointed ends. But hands down, my favorite part of this plant is the fact that it has like these fuzzy petioles on it, which looks really terrestrial, very cool. And I even have a new leaf coming. You guys, the growth is out of this world right now. They struggled, a lot of my plants, over the winter. And then my philodendron green sky. This one doesn't really struggle, honestly. It's such an easy plant, but it is so incredibly gorgeous. And I recently cut a big piece of the top off and gave it to my mom. So I was a little bit disappointed when I started getting smaller leaves. So I ended up cutting the smaller leaves off of here and then putting them, like potting them in. So that's kind of why it looks so full the way it does. But yeah, the green sky is such a beautiful plant. My philodendron splendid is another one that I had to cut up recently because it started outgrowing the moss pole and it was looking a little crazy and getting a little bit out of control, and I kind of wanted to tame it a bit. So I ended up cutting that and giving it to a friend who is going to take great care of it. So I was happy it went to a good home. But you guys, what a freaking gorgeous plant. What is the splendid? The varicosum and I want to say the melanochrysum, if I'm not mistaken. Such a beauty. And of course, no plant tour is complete without having a Tycon. So my Monstera Ty constellation is not like this. This is actually one that I got from grandma. Oh, and look what happened. I was so sad. Like, it kind of snapped right here, but I'm just gonna leave it alone and maybe it'll come, come back somehow. But anywho, so I got this from grandma. It obviously means so much more to me now than ever. So I'm doing everything in my power to keep it happy, to keep it from getting root rot. and it seems to be working out. My philodendron Florida Albo right here. Oh my goodness, such gorgeous leaves. Again, I went through like such a variegated phase. I still kind of do, like I have my moments, but yeah, so my husband ran out and got this for me for Christmas, and it was such a tiny, tiny little baby. So it has grown so much since then. And I recently cut this one up, as you can tell by this like really juvenile leaf, so that I can fill it out. Oh, and another new leaf coming in. I'm loving all this new growth right now. I really am. I honestly probably need to put some more water in here, but I'll get around to it. So yeah, it's in stratum. So I just fill it up to about right here. This is my heterocraspedon that I got as such a huge plant, and it promptly died after getting to my house. So I had to wet stick it and put it in some stratum, and it's coming back around very quickly, might I say. And oh gosh, I'm so tempted. And I really want to help this leaf out. I'm gonna leave it alone, but look how the backs of it are red when it first emerges. They don't stay red like you can see, but it really is such a gorgeous plant. I love this very serious vein down the middle. And you know, I love a long, narrow leaf. So yeah, that's gonna be something to look at once it gets bigger. Down here, these are some strugglers that I just recently cut up. Like this was a, what is it called? This is a Calkins Gold that was way too big. Like it was ridiculous. And I just feel like I don't love the plant that much for it to be taking up that much space. So I ended up cutting it back like big time and giving, you know, pieces away to different people. But yeah, it's easy to root. It grows pretty quickly, so it'll be fine. And then my bipennifolium aria, I want to say, yeah, is starting to grow back. This is another one that got really big, and I just started kind of neglecting it. Look at how bright the new growth is. And right now there's just like a lot of growth on it, and it's just kind of wild looking. So I put it right here so that all of the leaves will point in one direction, like towards the light. And we're just kind of waiting for that to happen. I've got my variegated Adansonii right here. This also came from Grandma's collection, and I absolutely love it. I wasn't a huge fan of it at first because they can be quite temperamental and like annoying, but it's doing fine. This one is kind of a newbie and a struggling newbie, as you can tell by like all these tears in this one leaf. So this is a baby, or a new leaf rather, and it's shipped with this new leaf. So it's already very tender, and then you add like some shipping to it. And I'm surprised it even survived. But this is my Anthurium SP Silver. And yeah, I'm just kind of waiting for it to grow into itself a little bit and get used to my house before I can like really determine what it looks like. 'Cause it's kind of hard to tell. This leaf is pretty young and damaged. And then this one is also, you know, this newest one is also damaged. So it's hard to tell, but we can wait it out. Summer's coming and all these plants are starting to pick up. So we'll see in no time. Anthurium aquarium lens right here, also on the struggle bus over the winter. And I mean, such a gorgeous leaf either way, but look at that. I got a new one coming. And you guys, so let me explain to you, when I say I'm putting a cuff around it, I mean like this, and it's never pretty. It's never ever like aesthetically pleasing, but it really does help the anthuriums, or mine at least, because those exposed roots now are receiving nutrients and constant, you know, humidity, and they're getting access to the water and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, every time I do that to one of my anthuriums, it immediately starts taking off. So for example, like this right here, you see how this is starting to kind of grow upward. So pretty soon I'm gonna have to cuff this because they just start pushing roots out of this little nub here. I just find that it's hard on them. So yeah, that's why I do that. I wasn't exactly scientific in explaining that, but hopefully you guys catch my drift. Back here is my rattlesnake calathea. I never was like a super fan of this plant because calatheas just hate me. But I saw that Grandma had hers so big, and I vowed to get mine huge like that. So I've just been paying closer attention to it now. And then my Dischidia Jerry up here is getting a little ridiculous at this point. Like, I love a nice bushy plant, but this is kind of crossing the line. And it hasn't flowered, so I'm thinking it probably needs to be repotted. I can't even see the soil, like, at all. So yeah, this very likely needs to be repotted, but isn't it such a pretty plant, even though it, you know, is crazy looking? I have a black pagoda lipstick plant up here that's kind of also looking a little bit wild. And it's another one of those really pretty plants, especially if you look at it from underneath and you see that purple. So yeah, that's that. It's seen better days. There's like a lot of yellowing going on and I haven't quite figured out why yet. And then in this disco ball planter up here is my Hoya Sarawak, getting so big, especially under this grow light. So I have my Sansi grow light down there, or up there, excuse me. And it really has helped out on all of these cloudy days and like these dark winters. So yeah, that's just a plus. And this right here is a Mona Lisa lipstick plant. And I really just got this one. It was in bloom when I got it and I was obsessed with the flowers, but I'm not really impressed with the leaves. So it's a little bit neglected, as you can see. Like, it looks really sad and ridiculous. So hopefully over the summer, it starts to look a little bit better. I've been really improving on like taking care of all my hanging plants lately and like keeping them watered. So I think it'll come around. I can't remember the name of this Endapsis, but it's really one of those common ones. Such a pretty plant. And this started off as such a tiny little cutting because I have them everywhere. You guys will see. So I just keep like accumulating more of them and propagating them. I'll get like this one long vine that just goes all the way down here, and I cut them off and it just gets nice and bushy. I know it seems harsh to keep cutting a plant, but it really does truly promote nice bushy growth. So this is another piece right here that I'll likely cut. I don't like how leggy it looks. And then like, what is the point of this one leaf at the bottom? What are you doing? This was just an impulse plant and I put it up here, and honestly, it's way too high, but it's been growing. It's just growing itty bitty leaves because it's not getting like a lot of light. So I also have this Spanish moss hanging from it. I'm obsessed with the Spanish moss look. It just adds such a jungly vibe. And I have these wall planters back here. This is my Hoya Bertonier. It's so fuzzy and I don't think the camera will capture that, but just, oh my gosh, I love rubbing these leaves. And I have a much bigger one elsewhere. But this is, I don't know, I just love the way it looks in this white pot. And the other one also isn't hanging. And I think that this is definitely something that should be hanging. But yeah, these little juicy, cute leaves like take me out. And then a Hoya Rosita that I'm like, about. It's just like, it's there. I'm hoping it'll spark something in me soon, but it's just kind of here right now. And in this one, you can't even tell like that it's in a pot. I love that look though. But this is a Philodendron Brazil and a Cebu Blue Pothos that I ended up trying to propagate, and so I just left it alone, and it's now its own little plant. This is my IKEA shelf, also loaded with plants. And I don't know, I don't think I'm gonna go through each one like one by one, but I'm gonna go through most of them. This is my Philodendron Chironier goat, and I really love how this is also like very rippled and has that pointy look to it. But what I'm really looking forward to is these leaves getting like super long. I've had it for a while, but I've noticed that this is a pretty slow grower. It's just a lot slower than I expected it to be. And then I don't understand this one leaf up here. Like, why are you facing the opposite direction? What is the reason? So I wish they would size up a little bit faster, but I think this is one that I maybe cut, and that's why they're not that big. I don't know, but we'll see. But yeah, this is different from the regular Chironier, which I think I also have somewhere, but not this big. So yeah, very happy with how this has been doing. I would like to see more leaves on here. There's just a lot of empty stem going on, which I'm not too thrilled about, but what can you do? Well, actually I could put some Kiki paste on it. And behind that is this Philodendron Pentatolobum crossed with the Jose Bruno. Very seldomly do hybrids get the variegation from, the variegated parent, but I really think that it makes for quite an interesting leaf shape when it starts to kind of grow into its natural, into its mature state. So I'm kind of curious about that. I have new growth on it, so we'll find out soon, hopefully. Oh, and then the philodendron urbescens right here. I really do love how this plant has like these reddish stems, but a lot of these plants on this top shelf are ones that can tolerate being slightly neglected. In fact, everything on here would probably be good for like a beginner. I have this Tortum patriciae hybrid. So it looks serrated from the Tortum, but the leaves are nice and long from the patriciae. And it is such a cool hybrid, which is why I decided I really wanted it. And it just took up a lot of real estate and was growing really wild and crazy. In fact, it still kind of looks wild and crazy right now. So I decided to kind of start it over to maybe tame it or like curate it to, to grow how I wanted it to grow. But it's going to be such a beautiful plant. My green Syndapsus right here is struggling, which is why I wanted it like kind of close to this grow light. It was all the way up here actually growing off of this, but I ended up cutting it and the cutting died. So it's finally starting to grow back now, but it just doesn't look ideal. So I just kind of have him in the back right now until he gets his life together. And you guys, this Anthurium panamense is outrageous. It's so underrated. I don't know why more people aren't raving about it. It has like this kind of thickish leaf. I know this leaf looks kind of crazy. Like it looks a little bit damaged. It's actually really dusty too. But anyway, so I ended up putting this one in stratum too. And finally, I'm getting some growth. I've had this for a year, almost a year now. So it wasn't doing nothing that whole time, and now it's finally putting something out. Turns out the secret was I just had to keep it watered, apparently. Anyway, so my Jacinia pothos is right here, looking really good. I had this on it, but it keeps like toppling over. So I've just kind of given up on trying to get it to stay up. But yeah, so my Jacinia pothos, and then my Syndapsus trubii that I finally got around to repotting in a new pot. It struggled so much. The roots were literally at the top of the pot. Like it was ridiculous. So I finally repotted it, and I'm just kind of waiting to see what it ends up doing. And then of course my philodendron adibopoense right here. The leaves are so narrow on this plant. I love that so much. Like they're not as wide as the philodendron billy, and I don't know, it just has a special place in my heart. So that is under a grow light as well. Starting to outgrow the moss pole now, so we're gonna have to do something. I'm not gonna cut it back. I'm actually really excited for the leaves to start maturing, so I'll likely just extend the moss pole. But yeah, well, we'll get around to that too eventually. I have a holiday cactus right here. Oh my gosh, my variegated Syndapsus right here was so much bigger. I ended up cutting that back too. I don't know, I can't remember why I did it, but I had 3 really beautiful plants, and y'all would be so proud to know that I have given all 3 away. 2 of them, I should say. I've given 2 of them away, and I just have this one left. So I'm really doing very well with not like overdoing my plants. And honestly, I needed room for some new plants anyway. So here's my Hoya black margin that I did have over here. So they were like 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, but it wasn't doing anything. And I love the Hoya black margin. So I ended up putting it right here just to give it some more light, and it worked. Like it definitely started growing. It's starting to look really good. The leaves are starting to get nice and big. And now I don't even know, is this even a black margin? I'm very conflicted about how I feel about this now, but look how splashy and cute these leaves are. A varicosum right here that I am desperately trying to bring back to life. And then this lutherie that is literally demanding attention. This is the first good leaf that I got on it. But yeah, I had to put this in stratum and start it all the way over, because when I got it, I guess it was too cold or maybe too hot. I don't know, something happened and it ended up completely dying. And then right here is my, I forgot how to say this. It's like very long, something venosum. I know it's kind of hard to tell right now, but this is truly such a gorgeous plant. Like it has like this silver dusting over it that the light won't allow us to see right now. But I ended up having to start this one over too, and it's growing back pretty nicely, and I feel like it's gonna be nice and full. I have this Anthurium Portia Dreams right here. I can't remember what the hybrid is, but there's nothing to look at, literally. I'm kind of hoping that this comes around because that was not doing good over the winter and I had to cut that down. My Forgetti Eye, I had 2 Forgetti Eyes in one pot, and I ended up taking one out and giving it to, I think I gave it to my sister. I need to check on that actually, but oh my gosh, I love the closed flat sinus, and I love how dark the leaves get. I feel like I should probably put this in a darker area so they can maybe get a little bit darker, but yeah, this is the newest leaf. I just got this one like a month ago, and I don't see, oh, I do see some new growth on here actually. Nothing to look at here, but this is my Syngonium aria that was also struggling, so I started that one over. Another Adansonii here, but this one is variegated, and this one, if I'm not mistaken, I got it from grandma. But this one is the, shoot, now that I'm thinking about it, I can't remember it. I'll put it on the screen once I remember it. And then my Sansevieria Moonshine right here that very likely should be somewhere else because it's touching the shelf. Another beautiful Anthurium right here. I want to say this is a Luxuriance or Radicans. It's one of those, but also very gorgeous, and I'm very pleased with how it's been growing. This is a new leaf, you can kind of still tell, and I cannot wait for it to push out a new one, even though I'm gonna have to eventually move it because it's definitely not gonna fit on this shelf anymore. Let me actually check. So I don't have any new growth yet, but soon, y'all. My Bobophyllum Medusa right here, I cannot wait for this to flower. If you look at my last video, you'll see I put a picture of what the flower looks like. It is outrageously gorgeous, to me at least. It may be an acquired taste, but yeah, definitely look this plant up if you guys haven't already, because the leaves ain't much to look at, but trust me when I say the flowers are. So these 2 shelves are my favorite. They have some of my favorite plants of all times on them. So I'll go here. This is my Hoya ring sand back here, and it has been growing so beautifully. It is so easygoing and non-problematic. I just love the splashiness of the leaves. Like, it's in the back, so sometimes I do forget to water it, but it doesn't ever fuss at me. It hasn't flowered before, but it's, like I said, growing very beautifully. My variegated orchid right here, love these leaves, especially due to the fact that they have like this little pink margin around them when they're new, and it just flowered. Literally, this is a stem for the flowers, and I actually have more flowers coming in. So this is such a happy plant here. My Ceratostema right here, also growing beautifully, and I love how the new leaves come in red. But I am slightly annoyed with this one leaf that's in everybody's business, going all the way over here, but it is really pretty. So my booby cactus, always a conversation starter. And then my cathedral cactus, or euphorbia, I believe. It's actually going to need a new home very soon as well, but look at all the little offshoots it has. I can't really tell for sure, but it looks like it might be about to bloom. Like, it had these little leaves on it, and I'm not all the way sure, but I think so, right? Or am I tripping? This is the Hoya pubic calyx right here that is growing everywhere. Like, one day I was underneath the shelf and I saw, like, matter of fact, this is above that level of the shelf, and look at that. So I am really needing to do something about this because it's getting like, it doesn't look good to me. Like, I don't think that's sun stressing. I think that's over fertilization or something. I don't know. And then I have my vanilla orchid right here. I'm really waiting for this to get a lot bigger. My Hoya lacunosa, all the little blooms just finished falling off. And I noticed that there's another little peduncle right here. If it'll focus, there we go. And they're just like the cutest little white fuzzy flowers. This wasn't really doing it for me at first. Like, I wasn't crazy about this, but I'm starting to kind of fall in love with it now. I think because it's always pushing flowers out for me. My Anthurium pallidiflorum right here with this one long leaf. I'm surprised it's not touching the floor. I feel like the next one, the one that's hardening off, like, I feel like this leaf will probably touch the floor. But the reason why there's only one leaf on it is because I was repotting it and the whole top of it just snapped. So here's the bottom portion right here. and that's finally starting to grow off. But I was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna have 2 of them now. An Anthurium, I think this is a pterodactyl too, but it's an older one that I had. Don't ask me why, I just always end up with duplicates and like experiment to see which one can do better. Okay, moving on. Everybody say hi to Groot. I love this little Groot right here. This guy 3D printed it for me, and no, he didn't do it for me actually. I think I just bought this from his little stand. But he did 3D print me a propagation station, and it's so cute. I just got so scared, like what are all these little black spots? But it's actually the soil from when I repotted it the other day. But yeah, these leaves come in red too. But yeah, the leaves started browning at the tips. So I figured, okay, you're drying out way too much. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do something about that. So put it in a new pot, threw Groot in there for good luck, and we'll see. I got this Anthurium from Chimera Tropicals, and I just know it is about to be something for sure. So this is the Papillium Endo dress. I'll be honest, I don't know a whole lot about like all these ridiculously exotic Anthuriums, but if I got it from John, it's about to be, you know, it's about to be lit. My Hoya Chelsea right here, waiting on that to finally flower because it is growing like a weed, but no flowers. I don't know what this is, so I guess we'll find out soon. And the elephant in the room is definitely this gorgeously sun-stressed Hoya Sunrise. You guys, oh my gosh, if you saw how small this was when I first got it, I feel like I talk about this plant in every video, but I can't help it. It's so beautiful. I just recently repotted it and I was like, oh my gosh, I remember when you were a baby and I'm already repotting you. But it took a while to get here. Like I feel like it took forever to start growing, and then once it did, it just took off. My Maranta Fantasy Light. This plant definitely looks crazy. I'm trying to see if I can move it to like a better spot for you to see. It looks like someone scribbled on it with a very, very fine pencil. My Anthurium Luxurians right here with one little leaf on it, bless his heart. So this was a stub when I bought it. It was like one of those things where you can get it for like 15 bucks if you just buy just the, you know, just a chunk of it. So I bought the chunk, and this is the first leaf that is put out in, I don't know, 9 months. So let me stop. I'm very, very grateful that it has something on it finally. And my Philodendron Felix right here. So I figured out with the Felix, because I've had 3 at this point. If you don't believe me, go back and watch the videos. I've definitely had 3 of them, and I kill them every time. So I got another one, but this time I got a little baby one. And this is the longest it's lived, and it's even pushing out a new leaf, so that's a plus. And look at my Hoya Calistophylla, you guys. Always a fave, definitely a classic, but I don't know, it just kind of seemed to stall on new growth. So I propagated it twice, and I think it's like, okay, well, obviously you don't want me to get big, so I'm gonna take a chill pill. I'm sorry, like, please grow now. I learned my lesson. I have a Florida Beauty back here, and I love the Florida Beauty, but I feel like, and you can tell where I cut it, because it started pushing out these juvenile leaves, but I feel like it's getting too much light because it has too much cream, like way too much of that cream color on it. So I'm definitely going to end up moving that. My beautiful Anthurium Draconipterum that I am obsessed with. This is the newest leaf, and it looks so freaking crazy to me, like a dragon's head, I guess. And I'm really excited for this one to get mature. I have my Anthurium Scalprum right here. This was in such horrible shape too over the winter. I mean, bad. Like there was one leaf on there, and I mean, not that there's very many now, but this is like a major comeback in comparison to how it was looking. And I am so obsessed with the Allocation Scalprum. It is so textured, it is so dark. So I really want it to do well. And then look at this new guy that I got. This is a Cactini delosperma. I don't know if I said that right, but I looked it up and they were calling it like a pickle cactus. And it is the cutest little thing. Like, I couldn't resist it. I got it from Lowe's for like $5. I mean, why not? And I also got this little mini orchid that's starting to bloom, and I don't know, I'm like in my orchid phase right now. If y'all can't tell, I'm really starting to be more interested in orchids and like flowering plants lately, but I don't know, I'm still, you can't call me a flower girl yet. I'm still a foliage girl. And I have an Aglaonema back here. I don't know which one this is. Aglaonemas, or Chinese evergreens, as they're sometimes, excuse me, as they're sometimes, I'm like, why can't I do anything right now? I am not, no. So anyway, so yeah, these are really great plants. And then I have my Anthurium cobra, right? Lucky, please stop kicking me. That I finally started paying attention to, and it is rewarding me with new growth. Lucky has bangs, y'all. Boy, get out of here. You can stay, but you gotta stop kicking me, okay? This is the Philodendron Pink Princess that I'm not doing anything with that, like disregard that. And then I'm rooting some Philodendron Brazil right here. I love this little vase that's like shaped like a book. Not only is it really cute, but it's very functional. I love that I can see through it, and I love that it fits into small, like skinny spaces. So it's perfect. And then this is my terrarium setup that I have super neglected, and it still thrives. Like, look at this. So I said over the summer, I'm going to take everything out of here or like clean it up a little bit, because there's a jewel orchid in here that I want to get my hands on. And you can see that pitcher plant. I was like, oh my gosh, it has pictures on it. And so I got really excited, and I want to clean everything up in there and get it all together. But yeah, that's everything on this shelf. I have this Monstera dubia rooting that I snatched off my mom's plant, because hers, y'all, it is so ridiculous. Like, what in the world? Mine won't do anything, and I'm doing everything for it. She's doing nothing for hers, and it is massive. This is my Thai lipstick plant that I absolutely adore. I love how it looks on this trellis and how like the leaves kind of hug the trellis. And I don't know, I really love this overgrown look on this plant. I think I would be a little more happy if it flowered, but I'm totally fine with the foliage. And then there's this cabinet here. I already have a Philodendron Yopii, but this one was grandma's, so I couldn't leave it. And hers is honestly way more mature. A lot of her leaves were more mature because she puts hers outside for the summer, and well, honestly, because she was a better, more experienced plant parent than me. I love how these leaves are so freaking narrow, and then boom, you know, nice little surprise at the end. And I also have this little staghorn fern up here, and it's on top of some books, y'all. It's like, I need a library at this point, because I'm running out of spaces to put books, and I'm about to have to start piling them up on the floor soon, honestly. But let's open this up. First of all, I love this little pot right here. My son is like, duh, state the obvious much. But I don't know, I thought it was cute. And look, they picked out this really crazy looking cactus that's actually like about to flower, which is insane. You guys, this is the coolest cactus that I have, hands down. It's called the dragon egg cactus, or the top blah 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 something, you know, whatever that says. So I don't know, it's very interesting looking, and I'm into my interesting looking plants right now. And mostly everything up here is stuff that I'm trying to propagate or that needed like a little bit of doctoring, like this fern, this zebra fern that used to be so beautiful and lush, and it started like getting real crispy. So I put it in some stratum, and it started bouncing back. And then like just some Hoya cuttings and things like that. Like, this is I don't even remember what this is, but it's in stratum, and it's under this grow light, so it's gonna do something. My Hoya insularis that was struggling due to the really cold weather that it was shipped in. Honestly, I feel like this is probably okay to move out of here now. And I love reusing old candles for my plants. This just helps like keep the moisture in. But yeah, my Hoya insularis is looking, oh, and by the way, this smells so good, y'all. Winter golden pear. Oh, it was so nice. So it burned out quickly, but yeah, I feel like I could probably move this. I can probably take that out of there. And you'll see a bunch of these donkey tail succulents, because as the leaves fall off, I end up just putting them in something and they start growing into different plants. And another plant that I cannot understand, like, what is your deal, bro, is this gray ghost. Like, what do you want from me? You're sun stressed, you seem happy, but there's like no roots. Oh, there's some roots in there. Look at the leaf from the donkey tail. Like I told you, they are everywhere. It's getting on my nerves. So yeah, this is just stuff that isn't quite pretty yet, that I'm just trying to get together. And the string of pearls, that's why we're gonna stay in here, because I cannot keep it alive otherwise. But yeah, it's not very pretty up here. It honestly like needs to be cleaned up a bit. And this guy in this yogurt container This is my Wilbur Graves. Why won't he grow? I mean, he'll grow, but he's not doing his very best right now. This begonia, what is it? The Black Knight? The black something is gorgeous. I'm a little bit sad because it's doing so great in here. And I feel like as soon as I take it out this cabinet, it's going downhill. I have my Apravada Splash right here that was honestly growing all the way up here and then all the way around here. And it had leaves. It was really pretty, but it was a little bit too much. So I ended up propagating that. But you can see there's a few leaves down there, super splashy and starting to sun stress. So the splash is a little bit pinker than it is silver. Another begonia right here, except for this one is kind of in rehab. And then, oh my gosh, my pride and joy, my Labicia turtleback, doing very well and actually starting to have a little baby. Well, it already had a baby, but oh my goodness, you guys. I never thought, I just wasn't expecting it to do this well. Like, this is such a difficult plant, so I've heard. And I even have some new growth coming in down there. Like, look at that new growth right here. It's going to be a really good summer. And I'm so excited for this one, especially. This is another one of my Tree Moonlight Syndapsis. And I just wanted to experiment with it climbing because I want giant leaves on it. I think it might be working, you guys, just maybe. And look at this juicy root trying to form on here. Like, let's just, okay, we're gonna have to deal with that later, but yeah. And this right here is a skeleton key. I don't know why I put this in here. Don't ask me what my motivation was, but it's one of 3 of these plants that I have. And it's another one that I'm experimenting with because I really want to see the skeleton key shape of it. This one ain't the good one, so don't pay that any mind. And this is my Charonier. So as you can see, it started off with like these larger leaves. It was dying. I ended up bringing it back a bit, but I don't know if it's yellowing because I overwatered it or because it's getting too much sun. It looks more like bleaching to me, doesn't it? But yeah, a beautiful plant. I need to take it out of here and I need to repot it ASAP. But yeah, that's pretty much what's in this cabinet. This is another and much larger Hoya Sunrise. And obviously it's not sun stressed like the other one, but I had this light on it for a little while. It's annoying when I go to sleep. That's why I have it off. But yeah, it was starting to sun stress. Like you can kind of see it a little bit. So yeah, it's looking good. Except for these leaves look splashy, or am I crazy? My bipennifolium that was getting ridiculously too big and looks really crazy, so I'm not going to talk about that too much. And then over here is my Anthurium Big Red Bird. That is not really giving Big Red Bird right now, but trust me, it does. It goes outside, or it's going outside over the summer. And I'm so excited. It gets like these red veins on it. It really is so pretty. It didn't do anything at all until I started watering it. It didn't die and it was like maintaining, but I couldn't get any new leaves. And then as soon as I started watering it more, boom, a new leaf. And I just have some little plants hanging right here, like a few things that I'm propagating, a little philodendron micans, Adansonii. So it's not a whole lot. Oh, look at my variegated vanilla vine. Oh, this was grandma's too. Shocker, right? It's doing so good, but it grows very slowly. And I don't really particularly like this one long wonky vine. So I am gonna end up doing something with that. I have another one somewhere and I'm gonna kind of put them together. Here I have this Ripsalis that is not looking very happy at the top. So I did have it hanging up here, but I had to take it down because I just can't. Every time I took it down to water it, like this was just so unsightly to me, and I figured I'll just take it down, let it breathe, let it get something at the top. And plus it's easier to water that way, so I just have it here, and it's actually kind of cute. My variegated Anthurium hokery right here. I kind of don't pay this plant any attention, and you can hardly tell that it's variegated, but I think I'm going to end up putting this outside for the summer so that variegation can really pop through and it doesn't look like it's just like sick. And here's my Gloriosum. It is such a perfect plant. Like, it's a perfect combination of velvety with perfect veins, a heart-shaped leaf. It is so gorgeous, but it grows very slowly right here. I actually have a new leaf here. I just love the Gloriosum. Anyway, then some unnamed alocasia. I don't remember what this is, but It's in Leca. It's so old. This is back when like I put everything in Leca, and it's doing okay, I guess. This is kind of new. I love the dark leaves on here. Love the dark leaves, but even more so, love the fuzzy petioles. So this is a cross between the Serpens and the Varicosum. And I had a huge one once upon a time. I can't remember what happened to it. I think I was trying to propagate it and it died. So I had to get a new one, but it's fine because if it's anything like the last one, it's gonna grow so fast and so big. And then I have a Rhaphidophora right here, just kind of climbing up the wall. A Cebu Blue Pothos Propagation. It's kind of past the point of propagation at this point, but also love how that looks right here. One thing I'm not a fan of though is how horrible this Ficus elastica is looking right now. Like it used to be so lush and full and all the leaves were like kind of this size, but now it's just a sad story. So I'm not going too crazy with it right now because I know I'm gonna end up putting it outside over the summer. And then I have another ficus. I think, what is this one called? The Taniki right here. And then there's a big shelf right here and a lot going on here. And then I have this Adansonii kind of crawling up the wall. And then there is this gorgeous Scindapsus exotica that I am obsessed with. I love how big the leaves are getting and like that silver platinum color to it. The colors on here are so gorgeous. I'm so excited that it's about to be summertime and they're gonna start receiving all that light again, but it's done really well over the winter. My silver band Maranta up there, I think I'm actually gonna end up taking this down because I can't really enjoy it as much as I want to from up there. But as you can see, I have another Maranta and I'm actually kind of surprised that they're not like unhealthy up there because it gets drier up there, it gets more light up there, and they're actually doing pretty well. And you can see my Hoya Polynura right here. I can't wait for this to start touching the ground. Everything looks pretty good up here. On top of this bookshelf, I have a Cebu Blue Pothos growing down that I recently had to chop because it started touching the floor except for it was just all vine. So I cut it back to where the leaves kind of stopped, and you can see like they just start thinning out as it goes further down. And yeah, it looks really good. I don't mind it being, you know, this short, but I would love, love, love to see it fuller, especially with the black backdrop of the bookshelf. I think it looks really cool. I love the silvery bluish color of these leaves. So as you can see, I have Cebu Blue Pothos like all over the place. I have a really scarce Micans right there, nothing much to look at. And then we're not gonna talk about what's going on up here because yeah, that plant is definitely struggling. That is the philodendron, no, the Epipremnum Cerealis, stringlight, something. I forgot how to say it, but I'll put it on the screen. And then this is my original philodendron Eopii. I have a few plants on this little table when you first walk in, like my chameleon ZZ plant right here. That's actually losing its color, but hopefully with the sunlight coming through here over the summer, it'll gain some of that back, or I'll just have to move it. Some propagations, and oh my gosh, I got this from IKEA. It's a vase, oops. It's a vase or a watering pitcher, and I don't know, it's just something about it. It's so odd and very modern looking. I don't know, I thought I would just point that out. A little philodendron right there, and somebody who keeps following me everywhere. That's a south facing window, and the afternoon light is just top tier, especially in the summertime. On this little coffee table, I have this orchid that was in bloom. I think I got this for Valentine's Day this year, if I'm not mistaken. And it was so gorgeous. The blooms were so pretty. It really did make the living room pop and like give it a spring vibe. And I even have a new leaf coming in right here. So hopefully this blooms again soon because like I said, the flowers on it were gorgeous. And then there's this corner. Of all my plant corners, this is my least favorite one. It just doesn't look very it doesn't look very well put together to me, but I really had to take advantage of the light coming through this window, so they had to go somewhere. On this lamp that is also a shelf, and somebody said this is a millennial lamp. I guess I fit the description because I love lamps that are shelves too. But yeah, I have this Scindapsus. I love this pot. Like, it just reminds me of like I don't know, ancient stone, ancient pottery. So yeah, love that style. The soil just looks really bad. It's been in this pot for like 3 years. I'm not even kidding. And I also really love this pot too. Like it just reminds me of Nickelodeon for some reason. Like it's very childlike to me and fun. So I love that. Love this Maranta in here, even though I can't get the leaves to grow large no matter what I do. So I think I'm gonna have to move this to a different spot. A fuzzy petioles right there. It's just 2 leaves, so nothing much to look at. And then this, I don't know what this is. It was sold to me as a Jose Bruno, but it's obviously not. Like, it can't be, right? So what is it? I don't know, but I like it. It looks healthy. I need to maybe like get a riser or something to get it off the floor. And yeah. My Philodendron Majestic right here, what a beautiful plant. Like, not only does it have these beautiful heart-shaped leaves, but the color is so gorgeous. But it's like just this silverish color on the green backdrop is so pretty. I really do hate though how this like stem is just bare. So I was thinking about cutting it right here and just like filling it up. I don't know, I haven't had much luck propagating lately, so I better leave it alone and maybe do like some Kiki paste, my variegated fried egg right here, and my naked root planter. I can't believe I'm actually keeping this alive, even though it only has 3 leaves. I feel like I have the naked root planter to thank for this because I don't have to worry about over or under watering, and alocasias are really susceptible to root rot, so I don't have to worry about that. They call this the breathing planter because your roots can definitely breathe. And another cool thing that I love about this is I'm just bottom watering all the time. What I do is pour my water in this little slot right here. And right now I'm kind of doing it on schedule, but yeah, it's just such an easy way. It really takes the guesswork out of watering and it helps me to keep this plant healthy. So putting it in this naked root planter was definitely a no-brainer. And they come in a bunch of different colors and sizes too. So you'll see various sizes and colors throughout my house. Well, really you'll just see either white or transparent. And you can get one too for 10% off using my discount code Kayland10. But yeah, I'm very thrilled with it. And behind my fried egg is a staghorn fern that is like, just this plant like habitually looks bad. And the reason why, the moss is always drying out. It's not dry right now. I've started to get a lot better with watering it. And I definitely noticed the difference. Like if you look down in here, I'm starting to get new growth. I feel like I have a hard time with mounted plants or like hanging plants or anything outside of a pot because I have a hard time with watering them. I have another Adansonii right here. I think it really just fills in this space perfectly. And then I have this, I forgot what it's called, Malay gold, I don't know, moonshine, moonlight, something. Anyway, it's just a really neon philodendron that I love. Hanging up here is my Scindapsus Silver Hero that is finally starting to take off. Look at the color on these leaves. Y'all, I love me a Scindapsus, I'm not even gonna lie. And this guy has begun to take off too. Like I love the new growth on here, how colorful it is. I haven't gotten new growth all winter long, so I was so happy to finally see some on here. And I'm really excited for it to start filling out and getting big. So yeah, it's gonna be a nice summer. On this mantle, I just have my holiday cactus that will not bloom. What the heck is going on? And on the other side, look at this, like they're just falling right off. On the other side, I have this really struggling foxtail fern, and I just repotted this one for the first time ever. So I feel like maybe that's why it was struggling. And since I repotted it, it put out this new leaf, and it's just so delicate and dainty and just such a classic beauty. And I know it's not a real fern, but anything called fern, I usually have a hard time with. So yeah, I'm really happy that this is starting to do something, and hopefully it's starting to come around. And I also have a Hoya growing on the window. I think that this is a perfect space for it to start getting sun stressed. Wait a minute, look at my plum tree, you guys. It's starting to get blooms on it, and I think we're gonna get a few plums this year. So up here I have a really dusty pothos. I think this is the global green. It is literally so dusty. It looks like there's cobwebs on it. Like, Okay, anyway. And then I have my neon heart-shaped philodendron, which I absolutely adore. And the newer one up here is the philodendron micans. So once I have everything like cascading down and nice and full, I think it's gonna be so gorgeous. So this little area is just off of my living room. And I feel like it's a really good space to put plants like in between so that nobody's like bumping into them and there's still like, you know, floor space. But it doesn't really get like any light. So almost all of the light that these plants receive is supplemental and, you know, from grow lights and such. So right here is my philodendron urbescens, another one of them. And I actually prefer them to be a little bit smaller. And I think in terracotta, they are so cute. I have another Rhapidivora tetrasperma right here that I think is gonna look really cute, like as it grows up. A syngonium that I recently had to chop up quite a bit because it was just not looking like very good at all. But now it's hopefully starting to come around and get some of its color back. A Burrow Marks Fantasy that I also had to cut up. And actually here is some of the cut up pieces, and I hate how they're just growing back like tiny little nothings. But I don't really have the time to fool with it right now. Oh, and one of my favorites is my philodendron gigas right here. It really started to outgrow the space that I had it in, so I had no choice but to move it out here. It was in my bedroom, but oh my gosh, I love the philodendron gigas, how dark and velvety the leaves are. And I also really love how full it's starting to get. So I've propagated it maybe 3 times and just stick it down in here and it roots so easily. It's just such an easy plant to grow. They're definitely getting more light out here than they were in the spot in my bedroom. So I'm thinking very soon it'll start looking great, but I mean, it looks great now, but yeah. I love, love, love the philodendron gigas. This is my philodendron ring of fire, and it's one of the 2 that I have. The other one is the narrow form upstairs. And I hate that it's starting to like point upwards, but I understand that that's likely the natural growth pattern of this plant, but I really would like for them to like point outward, you know what I mean? So at this point, it is what it is. It's starting to get some really good variegation on it, which I love. I love all of these. Like everyone that I can get my hands on, I tried to get. The only one I don't have is the caramel marble. It's kind of hard to see how cool this plant is, especially like the leaf is all beat up and discolored, but I do have a new one coming in. So honestly, I can't wait to show you guys. And then is this another leaf trying to come in? Like, what is going on? I saw this leaf and instantly fell in love with it. And so now I'm really happy that it's finally starting to push out another new leaf. I have a Ficus umbellata right here that had like serious spider mites on it, so I completely chopped it right there and it just started sprouting this out, and the leaves are growing very steadily, so I'm really excited for that. That's definitely going outside this summer, even though I know that as soon as I bring it back in, all the leaves are gonna fall off, but that's okay. That's okay. And then one of my favorite syngoniums that's honestly like outgrowing the space, or it been outgrew this space, but I don't have anywhere else to put it right now, so I'm just gonna leave it right there. I've asked on here before, I don't know what this Hoya is. It's driving me crazy to not know. It hasn't flowered, so I can't tell you what the flowers look like, but please, 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 if you know the name of this Hoya, please do tell. I have a Queen of the Night up there, a ZZ plant right here. I love this little guy. So this is ivy, but variegated. I think it is one of the cutest plants that I have. I can't seem to keep it happy enough to like grow massive, but it's not dead. And usually the ivy that I get does die. So, you know, I have to count that for something, but isn't it so cute? I think it looks so unique. I have a Hoya Wyetii right here, and the Hoya Wyetii is cool. I have a much better one upstairs in my opinion, but it's the hanging planter that is just phenomenal to me. I love this. I think it looks so unique. So remember how my Calliciphylla wasn't growing? This is one of those pieces that I ended up cutting off, and then I saw this, like, what the heck? This is kind of a new plant, which is why it's out here just trying to get its life together. It's gonna be something, maybe, I don't know. I'm getting a little bit of sun stressing on here, which I love. My poor philodendron snowdrift. I put it outside over the summer and forgot one watering, and it just completely croaked. So it was a wet stick project, and it's finally starting to come back, which I'm actually kind of glad that it happened because I don't have anywhere in the house to put a big snowdrift right now. It was kind of wonky, and this way I have it nice and full. Before it was just like one long stem. So it ended up working out actually. This is a philodendron angel, and it is so, like, there's nothing in here, it's so dry. But it's a philodendron angel propagation. The one that I have upstairs looks so bad. I don't know what's going on. So I took a piece off of it in hopes that I could like grow a nice big one. And when they do get big, like that vein, that color of the vein in the middle spreads out and it looks like an angel. And it defeats the purpose for me to have it if it's not going to develop, you know, that beauty that drew me to it in the first place. So it was really important for me to get that. So I propagated it. And obviously I don't care that much because it's dry. This looks incredible. This is the Peperomia maculosa. And finally it's pushing out new leaves. Before it just kept giving me flowers, which I understand, you know, maybe a good sign, but I love these leaves. I wanted the leaves. Give me the leaves. A Peperomioides right here that I actually got as a gift from a friend for my birthday. And it is going crazy with growth. It's definitely time to repot, but I have such bad luck with these. I just don't even want to mess with it for real. This is a Scindapsus trubii dark form. I don't know what's going on, but it's definitely not like the black color that I was expecting. I don't know if it's because it's still very juvenile or what. I ended up putting it on a trellis recently and putting it under here to maybe, I don't know what I'm hoping to do by giving it more light, but I wanted to do something. Another variegated vanilla orchid right here. That's kind of like a project right now that I'm working on, trying to get that big and healthy. And then this gorgeous Hoya macrophylla or latifolia, I guess, right now. And yeah, I love this plant. It didn't do a lot for a long time. And now it looks like it's finally starting to grow and get like that color that I love. So that's definitely gonna be fun over the growing season. And just behind it is my Hoya pachyllata or pachyclata, however you say it. And this one is very, very special to me as well because when grandma was living, she like gave me a piece of it, gave me a cutting of it, and it didn't do so much for so long, and it's finally like, you know, starting to take off and do a lot, and it's nice and full, but it also brings me a lot of joy too. You know, it's like a bittersweet thing. Black pagoda cutting that I meant to give my sister. I knew I was forgetting something when she came the other day. And then this is that other Hoya Bertoniae I was telling y'all about. Like, you see, I feel like the other one just looks better. I really do. A Snow Queen pothos right here. And then this is a Scindapsus So Silver. I have this here because I don't like the wild, like crazy look of it. I want it to get some order about itself before I put it out on display. And then inside this cabinet, these two definitely have to be in here because otherwise I would definitely have killed them by now. I can't believe I'm doing so well with begonias, like begonias and orchids. And it's so fuzzy, like it's so soft. I don't know, I feel like I want to sleep on here or something. And this is another one of my Libitias right here that I am obsessed with. I'm obsessed with Libitia in general, but yeah, it's growing so well, so much, and it's alive even after I repotted it, which is like definitely shocking to me. The top cutting of my Aglaonema pictum tricolor, sorry. It was doing bad. It was like rotting from the root, so I had to redo the whole thing. And then look at this Anthurium here. This is going to be another one of those crazy ones. It is a jungle giant crossed with three boys. I want to say I looked everywhere for what the heck a three boys is. I still don't know, but it's another one that came from John, and I love how dark it is and how red it was when I first saw it. Another vanilla orchid. I don't know why. A pothos propagation right here. Actually, this might be like the best looking Mandula pothos that I have. And I have a pretty decent sized one upstairs, but it doesn't look this healthy at all. This is my Anthurium green crocodile. I would love to tell you all about the shape of this leaf, but I had to cut so much off of it. So like you can't even tell what it looks like, but have no fear because soon, very soon, you'll be able to tell. This is like another one of those instances where I put the little cuff on there. But the problem with these little like Pokeball ones is that the leaf doesn't have room to come out of that little slit. So yeah, the cuff, like using a pot is definitely the way to go and not that, even though that holds in moisture a little bit better. Look at this variegated wyetii. Oh my gosh, you guys. The rainbow colors, the dark margins, like everything about this I love. I actually want to take it out of this cabinet so I can put it somewhere that like it can be appreciated a lot more. But I don't have anywhere to put it right now, so it's staying in here for now. A mini Kintiana Hoya right there that started off so teeny tiny. A Jacinia Pothos. This is another one I meant to give my sister. It's getting plenty of good lighting right here, and I have too many of them. I definitely don't need 6 of the Jacinia Pothos, so I don't want to get rid of my pot though. Like I think I'm in like an ancient pottery phase right now. I don't know. My tricolor Syngonium, also from grandma, is doing very well. And then look at this, you guys. So this is the Cytosperma johnstonii. And what the heck? It's definitely one that has to stay in that cabinet in order to thrive, I feel like. But the color is incredible, like out of this world, you guys. And the stems, y'all, have spikes on them. What the heck is this monster? Like, well, it's gorgeous is what it is, but yeah, don't touch the stems. Then there's a philodendron lupinum in the back. It used to be really big to the point where it was like touching the roof of the cabinet. I cut it back and now I cannot get the leaves to grow back big. So I don't know, I'm working on it. And then I have an Amazon Sunset right here, just a little baby seedling. Ouch. Just a little baby seedling. I think this is the newest leaf. The Amazon Sunset is beautiful. I missed out on an opportunity to get one at a pop-up shop. I want to say last year or the year before. So I ended up getting a baby one because I don't want to get it shipped. And that's what it's looking like. So that's the top portion of this shelf. The bottom part of this shelf is more so stuff that I'm trying to like regrow, or things that I've like cut up and I'm trying to propagate, or just things that need help in general. For instance, this philodendron worswittii has never done good. Like I've never had this looking good. So yeah, I decided to completely start it over, and it's starting to grow back. So I guess it's working. And then my Dischidia Dragon Jade, I think it's called. I am obsessed with this plant. It's hard to tell why right now, but just trust the process. And then this is a Caudex plant. I forgot what it's called. I'll put it on the screen, but it is gorgeous. I've had it before. I snapped it in half. It would not grow back, so I had to order another one. A majestic cutting back here that definitely needs water. So yeah, you kind of get the point. My Hoya incrustada that was just dropping leaves left and right. I have a propagation, like little propagation container down there. I checked it this morning, nothing's going on, not really. So the bottom part is more so like to be determined. So I think I had this orchid in my last video, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm so excited for this to bloom, like for y'all to see the flowers. I'm trying to see, is it doing anything yet? So it's not doing anything yet, but it's getting plenty of new growth, so I feel like it's well on its way. And then right here is my new little terrarium. The begonia is really struggling since I put it in here, but the ardisia is definitely like doing his thing without any complaints. And then I just put this in here because it was not happy with, like, even with 70%, it needed high humidity. But isn't it just a cool looking terrarium? I love this. I also got that from grandma. A few plants over here just kind of soaking up the sun from the south facing window. I looked everywhere for this. This is my monkey tail cactus. So I finally have one. I'm so happy. Well, I've had it for several months now, but yeah, it's starting to grow quite a bit. My watermelon Dischidia. And then there's just some cute little basic plants up here. I have a Maranta right there. So I can't do too much in here because the kids will knock stuff over and I'll be furious. This is actually my philodendron radiatum. It might be reclassified as a Thalmatiphilum. I'm struggling, but if you get it, you get it. And then there's a dark and lovely Alocasia Regal Shield. I love the Regal Shield. Y'all have got to see the one at my mom's house though. I need to do a plant tour at her house. Trying to come around. It's starting to push out a little bit of new growth since it's getting more sun, but it's just like, it's never firm. It always looks like slightly wilted. and I'll feel down in there and there's definitely like, you know, moisture. It's definitely not dry. So I don't know. Apotho's going up the cabinet, which is so great against the white backdrop. And actually on top of the fridge, everybody always compliments it when they come here. I guess because of the like deep red color on it, but it doesn't get the best amount of sun. So I definitely need to reconsider where I have it or just put it outside over the summer. And then of course, another philodendron Brazil. It's kind of hard to see because of how the sunlight is hitting it right now. But yeah, I love this circular hanging planter. I got this from Walmart. I think it was like $15 or I don't know, it was under $20. So another set of planters that I really love are these two. I don't know, they were like ridiculously overpriced, but they were so cool looking to me that I ended up just splurging on them a few years ago. And they have some really basic plants in them. I just really wanted to point out the planters and how much I love them. So you guys have seen everything downstairs. Now for the other half of my collection, we have to go upstairs. That's in part 2 of my 2025 plant tour. So make sure you come back and check it out. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below and tell me your favorite plant today. And I'll see you in part 2.